and compassion in the world in World Farming US, and we're super excited to have her on board. And this is go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's super exciting. I know that she is totally a rock star in the in fighting for a cruelty-free world.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier, and this is a great time for it too. There's 3 really exciting things happening right now. So on Election Day on November 6th in California, Prop 12 will be on the ballot.
Okay.
And so a law protecting farmed animals has never been passed on a federal level, but consumers want to see basic protections for animals. And this law will be one of the strongest protections for farmed animals in the world.
Wow.
So consumers will be taking animal protection on directly at the ballot on November 6th.
And so you say it's federal. So does that mean, but it's in California? Will this spread throughout the country?
So this is not a federal law. This is a state law in California.
Okay.
And it will be one of the strongest protections for farmed animals in the world if it passes.
Wow. And so what are the fundamentals of this bill?
Yeah, so this law will ban both the production and the sale of animal products that come from close confinement. So, for example, laying hens who spend their entire lives in battery cages where they barely have room to spread their wings, those kinds of conditions will be banned. So some of the cruelest forms of animal abuse will be phased out, both for sale and in production in California if this law passes.
Wow, that's huge news. It really is. So, people don't realize, I don't think, unless they've ever seen one of these trucks go by, especially I think of the chickens being crammed into these cages where, it would be the equivalent of having 17 or 18 people in a standard size elevator and then take the top 4 feet off. Isn't it something like that? Something horrendous, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's devastatingly cruel conditions that laying hens are allowed to live in. And right now, the campaign really does need volunteers, both inside and outside California. And if people go to preventcrueltyca.com, they can get involved in the campaign and help get the vote out next week.
Wow, that's exciting. Okay, and so what's going on with the McDonald's campaign?
Yeah, so in April, Mercy for Animals joined a coalition of farmed animal protection groups to urge McDonald's to ban some of the cruelest forms of animal abuse for the chickens raised for meat in its supply chain. So McDonald's has, for McDonald's restaurants, hundreds of millions of chickens are killed every year in the U.S. and Canada. And we've been working to call attention to the just utterly cruel conditions that these chickens are allowed to live in. They're crammed in dark, crowded barns where they barely have room to spread their wings and live their entire lives sitting in their own waste, developing sores on their body. So we've been working to create a new ad in Times Square that runs daily on a 56-foot billboard.
Oh, wow.
That's calling attention to this inaction by McDonald's. And we've coordinated demonstrations nationwide and have launched major ad campaigns across the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, I think most people, if they knew what went on, even like in the dairy industry or the beef industry, they would be very apprehensive to put that piece of steak in their mouth, if you will. I think of, veal especially. I'm looking at a picture right now of a little calf that, and it says his baby needs his mother, not a bolt through the brain. And it's just so awful to look at some of these images of what goes on. You can see the fear in these animals' eyes, and how, these are such sentient beings as well. We need to show them compassion. We really do. Even if we do eat them, ultimately at the end, I just think it's so wrong to treat any other animal, any other species with just so much disregard and disrespect for their life.
And McDonald's has the power to enact this policy, which will impact hundreds of millions of animals. And many of McDonald's competitors have already made similar pledges, like Burger King and Subway. So there's really no excuse for animal abuse, and McDonald's should be taking action on this.
Yeah, and how many pounds or how many animals or chickens total does McDonald's serve in a year? Does anybody have that number?
We know it's at least several hundred million. I don't think we can say.
Wow. Yeah, and you think about the the mass amount of animals not only being mistreated, but yet what it does to our environment. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, ultimately, the best way to help animals is going to be to leave them off your plate entirely. Uh, so on the environmental question, animal agriculture isn't just killing billions of animals. It's really killing our planet too. For every 4.5 calories of food that we feed animals, we're going to get 1 calorie of meat. It's just naturally inefficient, and we're wasting water and wasting land growing food for animals.
Mm-hmm. It's really astounding. And then all the animal or all the food that's wasted in this country is equally as disturbing, especially with all the cruelty that's attached to it. So let's talk about California drift net investigations and ban. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so months after Mercy for Animals and the Ban Death Nest Coalition released an investigation into drift net fishing in California, California has actually passed a law phasing in a ban on drift nets. And so these are nets that kind of drag across the ocean floor and will kill marine animals like dolphins, sea lions, and sharks, and not only the fish that are being killed for food.
Wow.
So these will actually be phased out in California within 4 years, and this historic law is going to help both protect our oceans and will result in thousands of fewer animals being killed and caught and killed in these nets every year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were at the North Texas Veggie Fair over the weekend, the whole crew and myself, and they had a virtual reality experience of the life of an animal raised for meat in America, and it showed some of the cruelty that they endure in their life. And so I ask you this as one of the leaders out there in this anti-cruelty movement with Mercy for Animals. When buying meat from a grocery store, how do you know if you're buying meat that's cruelty-free?
Yeah, again, the reality is that the vast majority of animals raised for food are raised in factory farms where the conditions are going to be inherently cruel and inherently harmful. And really the best way to help animals is to eat fewer of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I was talking to Johnny Bowden last week, and we talked about, being a vegan and how some vegans are just so extreme. And I think it's the ones that have, witnessed so much of this abuse. You can only, you only have to see really one horrifying image to have it burned in your brain where it changes you basically forever. And, I'm looking at some of the images right now, and it's just like, it doesn't have to be this way. It really doesn't. So for people out there listening, what are some baby steps that they can take to start changing their diet to be more cruelty free?
Yeah, I think even just replacing a few meals a week with vegan alternatives can make a big difference in the lives of animals. Something like 88% of the animals killed for food in the U.S. are chickens. So just by not eating chicken, you can reduce the suffering of dozens of animals a year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have about a minute. Let's talk about the dairy farms. What's going on in the dairy farms?
Yeah, so on dairy farms, cows spend their entire lives basically strapped in, having, being milked, and in order to produce milk, cows obviously have to be routinely impregnated and separated from their children, which can only be an emotionally traumatizing experience.
Yeah, it's I'm going through these pages and looking at just all these images about dairy and how it's not normal. They don't get to live their normal life. They don't get to be with their offspring. And plant-based power, is so much. I say plant-based power. It really is a more powerful way to eat on so many levels.
Definitely. And on the sustainability front as well, Greenpeace says that we need to cut our meat and dairy production in half worldwide to avoid climate change and meet the Paris Climate Accord goals. So in terms of personal health and protecting animals and just environmental sustainability, it's clearly a great choice.
Yeah. Abraham, thank you so much for jumping on the air with us today. And thank you for all the work that you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, we're going to go to break. We've got Dr. Lisa Mosconi coming up. We're going to be talking about brain food. To make a donation to Mercy for Animals, you can go to mercyforanimals.org. We'll be right back. You're listening to One Life Radio.
Small Jean Genie snuck off to the city, strung out on slashback blazers and ate all your razors while pulling the waiters.
Did you know a mother rat will dip her paws into cool water and gently smooth the fur around her infants' faces? The babies put their arms around their mother's neck and pay attention while being bathed. Rats and mice fall in love, risk their lives to save their kids, and giggle when tickled. Evan Walker writes of a mouse who died of shock in a trap. His life was a life fully as real to him as ours is to us. This creature, for all the irritation it may have brought as it scampered through closed closets or up some crevice in a wall, was as precious as you or I. He was not a machine that breaks and fails. He felt. His was consciousness, full and real and fragile and precious. This is Ingrid Newkirk with Peter, reminding us that it's easy to be kind, perhaps by not using glue traps.
Wellbeing Journal is a remarkable bi-monthly health publication esteemed by intelligent readers worldwide. It's available in print or digital, single issues or subscription. Its focus is on living a happy, healthy life and preventing or healing illnesses naturally. Preventing or healing cancer, arthritis, cardiovascular conditions, and digestive issues, as well as nutritional solutions for optimal health are regular subjects. Learn more at wellbeingjournal.com.
Hi, this is Vaughn Eaglin. As a licensed professional counselor and supervisor, I spend my career helping people cope with emotional problems. But today, I want to talk to you about nutrition. People ask me all the time for nutrition and weight loss advice, and I always find myself recommending a raw vegan protein, a food supplement called Warrior Blend by Sun Warrior. I wasn't always active and fit. In fact, I was very overweight as a child, and as a counselor, I must emphasize the importance of the mind-body connection. A clean body helps with a clean mind. Start today with Sun Warrior Blend Raw Vegan Protein. For more information, go to sunwarrior.com and start living clean today.
Hi, everyone. It's Bernadette. Everyone knows that I'm a strong believer in the numerous health benefits of cannabinoids and CBD oils. As with any supplement, I always do my research and my homework to find the highest quality product on the market. That's why I'm so happy to announce our partnership with the H Hemp Company, founded by a group of the most experienced and respected names in the CBD community. H Hemp offers a line of innovative products that are all natural and tested for quality. Choose from flavorful oils, restorative body balm, and minty breath spray, all at affordable prices. And for every H Hemp product sold, the company makes a donation towards the fight against opioid and anti-anxiety drug addiction, an epidemic affecting millions of families across the nation today. H Hemp products produce a sense of calm, fight post-workout inflammation, and the company gives back to our community. What more could we ask for? Search online for H Hemp Company and use the code OLR for 20% off your first order. That's OLR for 20% off your first order.
Hi, I'm Bob Barker. This is my friend Benny. Before you buy cosmetics, personal care, or household products, you be sure they have not been tested on animals. Everything from floor cleaner to shampoo is poured into animals' eyes and down their throats. They suffer intensely. Some even go blind. The price is never right for products tested on animals. Visit PETA.org for a list of cruelty-free companies.
Welcome back to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with Diamond Gray. I've got Aviana Barrientos, Lexi Brinkley, Autumn Connolly, all in studio with me. And I have a very special guest on the line. It's Dr. Lisa Mosconi. She is the Associate Director of the Alzheimer's Prevention Clinic at Weill Cornell Medical College. Dr. Mosconi holds a PhD in neuroscience and nuclear medicine and is a certified integrative nutritionist and holistic healthcare practitioner. She is the author of the book Brain Food, The Surprising Science of Eating for Cognitive Power. Such a pleasure to have you on the show. Such an honor. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, welcome to One Life Radio.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Your book is so good.
Online.
It's so
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
It really is. There's so much in it. It's just so jam-packed. So